Let's go live, shall we, to Arsenal. And this is Mikel Arteta.
Spectacular €100 million double Arsenal deal comes into view as forward rejects Man United. Arsenal could sign two top Bundesliga stars after Borussia Dortmund ace Karim Adeyemi made a decision on his future, according to reports, while the Gunners have been named as potential suitors for a Real Madrid forward. Arsenal have a 4-point lead at the top of the Premier League table after dismantling high-flying Aston Villa 4-1 at the Emirates on Tuesday, which was followed by Manchester City's goalless draw against Sunderland on Thursday. Summer signing Martin Zubimendi was joined by Arsenal teammates Gabriel, Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Jesus on the scoresheet. Attention has now turned to which players Arsenal could sign in January, with numerous exciting options on their radar. Arsenal get Adeyemi boost. Arsenal are in pole position as they challenge Manchester United for Adeyemi's. Both Arsenal and United have expressed interest in landing the versatile forward, and he favours a move to the Emirates. Adeyemi, who can play as a winger, second striker or number 9, has managed 6 goals and 3 assists in 22 appearances for Dortmund this term. With Adeyemi's contract expiring in June 2027, Dortmund are open to selling him this month for £70 million, €80 million, although separate reports have suggested a €60 to €75 million, £52 to £65 million deal could be on the cards. Arsenal see it as a great opportunity to snare a high-quality and experienced midfielder for a cut-price fee. Arsenal sporting director Andrea Berta is supposedly in the market for yet more midfield recruits, even after the recent signings of Zubimendi and Christian Norgard. But Arsenal face competition from United and Tottenham Hotspur for Goretzka. Court Offside names Spurs as his leading suitors currently. Rodrigo race on. Arsenal, Manchester City and Liverpool are all spying a potential move for Real Madrid ace Rodrigo following a big update on his future. Sport claim Rodrigo is accelerating his next move and there is no going back for him at Madrid. The Blancos have given him a €100 million price tag, which is most likely to be matched by Premier League clubs. Arsenal and City are viewed as his most likely destinations, ahead of Liverpool. But Arne Slot's side could ramp up their pursuit of Rodrigo due to their poor Premier League campaign. A transfer away from the Bernabeu would give Rodrigo the chance to forge a career as a world-class talent by escaping the shadow of Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. Rodrigo is a step above fellow Arsenal winger target Adeyemi too.
Yeah, I mean, his stats, show for themselves. I mean, he has been nothing short of fantastic for Arsenal. I mean, obviously a fantastic defence in front of him as well, first in the clean sheets. Yeah. Catches as well, which is massive, and aerial duels as well. Obviously, 8th there. I mean, a lot has been made of David Raya's height, which is an interesting one. I know that there was a few fans online saying that he makes saves look good because of his height, because he's not as big as the others. But he's the smallest goalkeeper in the league.
But do you know what's weird though? Is that he doesn't look small in the goal.
No,
he fills the goal up.
Yeah,
I remember when we signed Richard Wright and Arsene Wenger was there, and we were doing our drills, and I went in goal, and then Richard went in, and then I came out, and Arsene went up to me. He went, David, he says, why does the goal look so big when Richard's in it and so small when you're in it? But with David, the goal looks small. He's got a presence about him. He's got a confidence about him. And he's also got this calmness, and I think that's what the coaches were looking for, because when Aaron was first in, there was a little bit of, but not erratic goalkeeping, but he looked on edge a little bit. And then, he started bringing the calmness into his game, but then he got left out. But with David, you've got a guy he's so comfortable on the ball, and the catch. I was surprised at the catches stat there, because he claims so many crosses. He claims them more than goalkeeper. When he comes out, he's looking to catch it all the time, and 95% of the time he does. He very rarely punches it, and it's always a safe catch, isn't it?
Yeah. Did it shock you, Sidders, seeing that he is the smallest goalkeeper in the league?
Yep. And, look at this. The save that he makes, his agility is just brilliant. I think that's, for me, his biggest attribute, as well as you never really see him flapping or, like what David said there, that uncontrol or out of position. He always just seems to be really assured and assertive, doesn't he? He never sort of makes an indecisive decision where he might come out for a ball and then go, oh no, that's not on. And if it's not on and he has to come back, he can make saves like this. And he just gets up. He is just like a cat. Now, I was lucky enough to play with Shay Given and Carlo Cudicini, and very, very similar in terms of their height, small, obviously brave, but their agility, and especially the ones where they're going one way and then they can just change direction really quick and then just do that sort of big stretch. But I mean, he saved them so many times.
That save was unreal. Because it's come through players as well. The touch he gets on it is perfect, and it was at a massive time of the game. We were 2-1 up. That could have been an equaliser, but his consistency is brilliant, and he doesn't get a lot to do in games, right? Yet when he's called upon, he's able to make saves like this.
Yeah, most of the game he's staying on the halfway line.
It's incredible. And I'm like watching him and saying, "Get back!"
Well, look, David, we did set you a task. We said, who are your top 3 current goalkeepers in the Premier League?
Yeah.
And I believe we can show who you've picked. I hope there is no bias.
This will be a shot.
Oh, there it is.
No,
but do you generally, despite obviously your Arsenal ties, do you still put David Wright as the number 1 goalkeeper in the league?
Yeah, because of his consistency, his agility, the way that he makes match-winning saves. Man City didn't mess about. Early on this season, they signed Donnarumma, and we saw in his first game he made a match-winning save, and I think it was a Manchester derby, wasn't it?
Yeah,
made a fantastic save. Sorry, mate. You're used to that, aren't you? He's made a really good save down to his right, and that's what he does, Donnarumma, and he's brought a confidence he brings a confidence that the defenders love, because he's not erratic, and then. Obviously, in third place, this is the save that I'm on about.
It's
that's a brilliant save. And he makes that because of the size of him as well. Because that's gone outside the post, coming back in, and he gets just the right touch on it, and it's a big save in context of the game. But what I like him, he's one of the goalkeepers that when he makes a save, he don't get up and really celebrate. He just stands there and enjoys the save.
Yeah.
Sometimes when goalkeepers get up and do like a massive, celebration of a save, I'm like, really? I've seen a few do it, and the ones that I've. Although I've said that, when I look at Martinez,
I was going to say,
he's one of them that he used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
But I think he's calmed himself down a little bit, But
so why Martinez in third then for you? What is it about him? Obviously, he's a World Cup winner.
They were so close, Donnarumma and Martinez at this moment in time. I'm talking about as well. Because don't forget Donnarumma and Martinez are what they've won.
Of course,
I'm not taking that into consideration. I'm just talking about now. Like you look at him now, he makes the save and then he gets on with it. But his agility. I was at Arsenal when he first came to Arsenal as a 16-year-old, and they just paid £1 million for him. And I saw him, and I was coaching him with Tony Roberts, and we were like, oh my God, he's so raw,
Yeah.
But he got something. He could make saves, but he'd make them really unorthodox. But with the coaching that he's had and all the different coaches that he's had along the way, because he's been on loan, he went out on loan a lot of the time.
Yeah.
He's picked up and got better and got better. And he's a special goalie.
So they're your top 3. Steve Sidwell, are you going to tell one of England's greatest ever goalkeepers that he's wrong? Anyone else you would put in there?
That was a gentle tap.
No. For this season?
Yeah.
Roofs, I like Roofs.
Yeah, Roofs
has done really, really well. Yeah. And I think a lot of keepers are getting more focal point this year. There seems to be a lot more shots, I don't know the stats, but a lot more shots from outside the box or from just inside the box. Whereas before it was always kind of get the ball to the byline, cutbacks and goals from there. You see a lot of keepers now making good saves that are scrambling across and tipping around the post or over the crossbar, tipping it onto the bar from shots outside the box, which makes them not look better, but makes them showcase their skills more, really. Which
and a lot of that is
job. I'm going to go Roy Keane and say, it's
their job.
That's what we do. But some do it better than others.
Have you been, Steve? Have you been intrigued by? There was this whole thing of last year, if you had said, what does a Premier League goalkeeper need to have? It was you've got to be good on the ball with your feet. You've got to be good. Your distribution's got to be good. This season, Donnarumma isn't. He's not. He's one of the world's best goalkeepers, but he's not known for being good with the ball at his feet. Do you think that's kind of changed this year in the Premier League? It's almost gone back to that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hope it has, because I get so many people coming up to me and say, I've got this goalie, he's brilliant with his feet. And I'm like, any good with his hands? Yeah. Because, the foot side of it, the feet side of it is something that's really important now.
Yeah.
But it's getting a little bit less. Because they're not playing out as much as what they did, because people are seeing the mistakes that goalkeepers have been making, especially when they try and bounce a pass when it's mid-central goal, the area.
Yeah.
That one for me is a massive no-no. But when you watch people like David Raya with it, he looks so... he's that comfortable on the ball, players don't bother closing him down now, because they know they'll get embarrassed by him, because he's that good. He's that good with it at his feet. But he used to play futsal as an outfield player, so that's where he's got his training from. And now a lot. I'm involved at Arsenal with the under-18s and 21s, and there's a lot of work being put in on footwork, and the ball at their feet.
How would David Seaman in his prime? How would he have fared in the current state of the league we see now? When you look at goalkeepers, in the situations that they're put in,
a lot of the situations now are the only two that are different. Obviously, with the ball at the feet. If it was on my left, it was like Rosed. Yeah. If it was right, it was down to Thierry Henry or Dennis Bergkamp or Righty.
Good outlets. Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, one of the biggest differences that I'm seeing now is at corners. Yeah. The blocking and the pulling and all that's going on the goalkeepers now it's like a wrestling match.
Do you think there is too much? Because that's always a big subject. Like Steve, I would watch the games and I would say, the goalkeepers are complaining too much. It's not too much of a touch.
So what's happened to obstruction? What's happened to that rule? That's just been out the window, because there's a lot of players going in, and Arsenal were brilliant at it. Ben White was the best one at it. He would be not involved, and then as the arm goes up, the ball starts coming in, he'd go bump straight in front of the goalie and block him off. And he's not even looking at the ball. All he's bothered about is blocking off the goalie. And that's what's happening a lot now.
We've seen a lot recently, like Martinez against Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge. He was like wrestling two players before he even tried to even claim the ball. I think even when the ball went in the back of the net, he still had his arm on the back of João Pedro's shirt. Yeah. It wasn't even up ready to sort of catch, and then we see it against Arsenal the other day as well. There's definitely a focal point that the body's in the box, isn't it? Like, pack the 6-yard box out, just whip a ball right on the goalkeeper, let's test him.
Of the season, aka FPL Salah, of course. Great to see you both. Thank you for coming down. We're at the halfway stage. How's the season gone so far?
I'll start, because it's not gone too well for me so far. I'm about 650,000, 650k. It's not the best start, but plenty of season left, and as you said, we've got the second set of chips as well now, so hopefully that could...
it does feel like it's been quite a tough season overall, though, Lee, doesn't it?
Very difficult, very difficult. And like Abdul's saying, right, usually I get to this stage of the season, I'm like, well, at least I've saved my chips for the second half of the season, and everyone else has spent theirs. But everyone else is getting another round of chips, right? So we can't even really use them to our advantage, although I do think we'll get blank and double game weeks in the future. So we'll have a bit of chip chat later, but it's probably worth holding on to them, I'd say.
Yes, OK, we'll talk about chips very shortly. But we're going to kick off the show today by focusing on the Arsenal defence and the man that everyone, I think, now wants in their FPL teams, Gabriel. He is the most transferred-in player this week after his 15 points on Tuesday night. Lee, you desperate to get him in? You moving mountains to get him in?
Yeah, back with a bang, wasn't he? And actually, when I saw the notification pop up on my phone, Saka assist, Gabriel goal, I was like, oh, here we go again. Because we've been here already this season, so this is not a... Getting Gabriel back in your FPL team isn't a punt, right? We've seen this season, we saw it last season, and back with a 15-pointer. A little bit fortuitous, potentially, because, of course, the clean sheet got wiped out after he went off. But I think had he stayed on the pitch for the full 90 minutes, there's a reasonable chance that clean sheet had stuck. So, yeah, I will be certainly looking to bring him in over the next couple of weeks.
And it's not a fluke, is it? We know what we're going to get from him. As we're seeing here, these are his last 7 Premier League starts. Of course, he has been out injured since game week 11, but 71 points over that time and 4 double-digit hauls.
Yeah, and look, he he came back from his first start since he was injured, got 15 points and went straight back to the top scoring defender. So it's just what he does. And just looking at Arsenal's next few fixtures, they do seem a bit tough with Bournemouth away and Liverpool, but like there's Arsenal just such a good defence, and he just is just so so kind of talismanic at the set pieces. I think you just have to get him in as soon as you can.
Yeah, those fixtures do look tricky on paper, particularly that Liverpool at home in 21, but we've seen Liverpool have defensive frailties this season. Bournemouth are shipping goals. But it's not just about the defence with Gabriel, is it? It's the fact that he has a threat at both ends of the pitch.
Absolutely got that threat from set pieces. It's probably one of their most potent weapons. And if I look at the three teams they've got coming up, I think it's Bournemouth and then Liverpool. Can't remember the third team. Maybe we'll look at the fixtures in a second. Forest, that's it, yeah. Those three teams are all really susceptible to set pieces. Trust me, I've watched a lot of, as a Liverpool fan, I've watched a lot of set pieces go against us this season. So, yeah, we are weak. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so absolutely. We're absolutely weak to set pieces, and so are Bournemouth and Forest. So, yes, I hear what Abdul's saying about the fact that, you know, difficult-looking fixtures on paper. Will they get the clean sheet, Arsenal? I think they absolutely can. But even if they don't, then Gabriel's a pretty good bet that he's going to get something from a set piece as well. Yeah,
when we all had him before, he was a premium defender to own because he just gives us a little bit more. How much do we have to do to our teams to get him in? Is it points hit territory, or can we wait?
I don't think this points hits territory. I think if you can get him in easily with your free transfers, then he's fine. But because of the fixtures, like, they're not great. So I think we can possibly wait until after Bournemouth and Liverpool. But I think if you can get him with free transfers, I think we just get him. But yeah, I don't think he's quite in hit territory just yet.
The merit to getting him now, though, of course, is the fact that his price has already risen this week. If he gets any returns this weekend, you imagine that people are going to be going after him again, so his price will rise again. If you were perhaps owning another Arsenal defender, a lot of people own Timber, of course, would you be tempted to make the move across from him?
I don't think I would, actually, no. I think Timber and Gabriel together, probably the play. I know that you're going to be spending a lot of your FPL pounds, therefore, in the Arsenal defence, but I think it's absolutely worth having. The one thing I would say about Gabriel is I think he, obvious thing to say, but he makes just every other Arsenal defensive option better, right? If you've got Raya, he's now better. You've got Timber, he's now better. One thing I noticed, actually, even at 2-0 up against Aston Villa, I think Gabriel made a block and it went out for a corner. He celebrated it like it's a goal, right? He loves those clean sheets. Yeah. So I think, yeah, if you've got Timber, I think you probably stick. If you've got Raya, then probably stick with him as well.
Would you stick with Raya as well?
I think Raya is from the defence, he is the one that you probably would get rid of. If you've already got triple Arsenal and you want to get that Gabriel, then I think Raya is the one with the lowest upside. I agree with Lee. I think with Timber and Gabriel, you've got the upside there. You've got Timber with the assist threat and the goal threat, and then you've got obviously Gabriel with the the really potent goal threat. So yeah, I think Raya is fine to keep. I wouldn't be rushing to transfer him out, but if you're going to get rid of one of your Arsenal guys, I think he's the one to sacrifice.
It's been a frustrating few weeks for Raya owners as well, hasn't it? When we take a look at those two clean sheets in his last 9.
Yeah, and I think it's the thing with goalkeepers this season, though, Kelly, is they're not going to get the defensive contributions that a lot of the defenders can get. We're not seeing the goalkeepers pick up the bonus points quite so much. And, of course, with Raya, the way that Arsenal are playing, they possession football, they're attacking so well, Raya's not even having the opportunity to make the saves either. So, really, you're kind of looking at a 2 or a 6 for Raya. So we talk about FPL point ceilings, don't we? It feels at the moment like Raya's probably only going to get a 6 or a 7, maybe maximum. Whereas with Timber and Gabriel, you've got that double-digit haul potential. So I agree with Abdul. Those are the two to go for. And if, by freeing up, by selling Raya, it frees up an Arsenal spot to get to those two, that's okay.